Hi everyone, welcome to the part 2 of this camp color tutorial. So in case you're just seeing this video, I have the part 1 of the cutting process. So this is like the joining process. So remember that our collar that we cut, we're just going to make it like this. You're going to double your fabric, then you use your gum stay on one side of the fabric, then you fold them out together and open it up together. You're not going to join the way we join our other normal vintage collar. This one you're just going to fold it on top, making sure that mouth is together. I don't know if that makes sense. If you check my other video on how to cut a normal vintage shirt, you should understand what I'm trying to explain here. So now you just sew round the gum stay. Please note that you're not sewing on the gum stay, you're sewing at the edge of the gum stay, like the tip, just so it can be easy for you to continue sewing. Like this way you don't even need to iron it like immediately. You stand up, you iron, you sit down, you iron, like all this kind of stressful ways. So you're not going to sew on top the gum stay, you're going to sew at the side of the gum stay. Yes. So after that, you trim off and then you notch the two mouths, the sides, then you turn it over. And the reason why this thing just turned over immediately without stress and without it folding at this top side is because we made the stitch at the side and not on top the gum stay. If we have stitched this on top the gum stay, it will never fold like this without serious ironing and a lot of water on the fabric. So yeah, this is the more reason why you should sew at the side of your gum stay, not on your gum stay. So it's going to come out like this. Right now I don't even need to iron too much because it's already set. So now next thing we're going to do is to top stitch. This is not very compulsory, just to make the collar look very neat and should stand well. So I'm just going to top stitch on top this one that we just did now. So after stitching, I'll just fold it into two like this and then notch the mouth. So when I'm notching this, is just to get the midpoints. So when I'm joining on my shirt, I'm not going to have a problem. So for now, the shirt, you can leave the collar outside. Now for the shirt, after sewing your facing, that back stuff we cut, after sewing your facing on your back piece, then you're going to join your front piece to the back piece. And now I think we should know how to join our shoulders if we're having like three shoulders, like for example your senator with your facing and your front piece. I have a video on how to cut senator and also how to join it. You can watch that to understand how to join the shoulder. It's just simply making the front piece be in the middle of the back and the facing, and then you sew it all together. That is how to get your stitch for the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, I just stitched on top the joining I made. So now I want to make the notch for all the place we're meant to notch on before we join our collar to our neck. So now I folded from that point that we made that 3 inches when we were cutting. I folded it to get the midpoint. So that midpoint is going to be the same midpoint the collar is going to stand on top. If they are not touching each other, then you're not doing it right. Something is wrong with your collar. So yeah, now you just fold the 3 inches we measured from the beginning. You can go back to the cutting process to understand this. So that place that we notched, for that 4 inches side that we notched when we were cutting, fold it inside like this. Fold the notched part, then you measure your neck. The first part on the neck we're going to be measuring is our 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch, if you open it into two, that's 3 inches. So for the collar we have 15 inches. 15 inches plus 3 inches, that is 18 inches for the neck. I hope this is explanatory now, because our collar is not starting from the beginning. It's starting from this 1.5 I want to mark now. On one side 1.5, on the second side 1.5. Altogether that's 3 plus 15, which is the collar we cut, that's 15. That's 18, sorry. so it's going to make our neck complete. Let's say for example your neck is 19, you know that okay, 15 plus 1.5 or 1.5, that's 3, minus 19, that is the amount of neck you're meant to have. That's like the logic we use for this kind of collar, because the collar mouth is not starting from the beginning of the neck, it's starting like almost like a blazer, because it has to have that falling, a cam collar. So yeah, I just notched my 1.5 on both sides, and I'm just trying to show you. So now the next thing we're going to do is how to join it. That 1.5 that I cut, you're going to just sew on top it like this. You are not putting the neck yet until you sew up to that 1.5 side, which is what I'm trying to do now. Please watch this place carefully. When I got to that 1.5, then I now fix the collar inside. Like I said earlier, the 1.5, the collar is not starting from the beginning of the neck, so that is why I did that. So now we're still going to do another thing here. We'll keep sewing. So where that 4 inches, when we're cutting the first time, where this overlapping is going to stop, we are going to notch that place and then sew only one part of the collar, which is the part that does not have the gum stay. So we keep sewing. It's very simple. We'll sew up to that 1.5 that we notch, then chook the collar inside and sew. Now we are already at this notch where the overlapping to the front is ending. You're able to make like a small notch when you get there with your scissors. So I'm there already. I'm making my notch, not too much so you will not damage your clothes, just a little. Then when you shake, and what I'm doing now, I'm removing the up part. I'm removing it away, so I'm just sewing the one that's down. So now I've gotten to the midpoint, that place that we notched earlier. When you get there, you cut your thread and go back to the second side of the neck. Like I said earlier, if your notch are not touching each other, then you're doing something very wrong. You have to come back and check again. So the same thing we did for the other side, we're going to do it for this one too. Start sewing. When you get to that 1.5 notch, then choke the neck inside, and then when you get to that our 4 inches stop, that overlapping we did when we were cutting, you notch it and then remove the one up, but in this way, because we've already turned to the other side, so it's the one down you're going to remove. I hope this makes sense. If you are sewing from the other side, from the left side or from the right side, you're going to remove the one up, but if you turn it back to this side, when you get to the midpoint, you're going to sew the one down. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. Now I've gotten to that same midpoint I got to the first time, so my neck is okay and it is complete now. So this is how it's going to be looking like. The 1.5 that we started sewing from, this is where it is now, and you can see that the collar did not start from the beginning. So this is the form I was trying to explain, but now I think it is making sense. We're getting there. So this part where we notch, where we did not sew down, we are going to sew it on top like this. This is the main reason why we let it off, so we can have like this very neat finishing. At this point, you can take it to your machine to iron. I'm just trying to choke out that 1.5 mouth. So now we're just going to sew from the beginning of this 1.5 down to the end, sewing on top that place that we notched and we left out when we were sewing the other side. So we're going to sew that one now. So this is how easy it is to sew your camp collar. There's nothing so serious about it. It's just to follow the normal steps. And oh, please don't let this collar confuse you. You can watch the video over and over again. It's going to make sense. You notch your neck, you get your 1.5 from your 4 inches, you notch, bring out the one up. The other, when you get to the middle, turn to the other side, continue from your 1 inch, 1.5. When you get to your 4 inches, notch, bring the one down because it's the other side. So when you finish, turn over like this and then you sew it all together. It is very easy, and I hope you guys try this tutorial and give me a thumbs up, like this video, comment, drop your comments. If you have any question, please, I'll be very available to answer your questions. You can share this video too, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. So now I'm just sewing it down to the end. Nothing so serious about this. When we finish with all this, then you can add your gum stay to your collar, sorry, to your buttonhole allowance, and then you just cover it together. Sew your sleeve, sew the hem, weave all the necessary parts you want to weave, fix your buttons, and that's all with this shirt. And it's that simple. Very, very simple and easy to get. Now we are done and everything is looking so well. Iron the collar very well because we didn't iron from the beginning. It is fine if you don't iron because we didn't sew on the gum stay. We sewed at the mouth of the gum stay. So now you're going to iron it very well and make your lines and everything. This is how our shirt should be looking like, all done and set. And very neat. So thanks for watching. See you next tutorial. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.